This is Jim Collison. We're here on a home tech tip. We're in the post show of Home Gadget Geeks 197. We spent some time. It's New Year's Day of 2015. I want to welcome Christian Johnson to our home tech tip. Christian, you have been working on some web hosting and web hosting provider options through MapleGrove Partners, and I wanted to highlight that on this home tech tip. So tell us a little bit background, where you're going with it, and what you've built.
Sure. So over the past 4 years or so, I mean, the average guy has been hosted on hardware and a platform that has really been a closed system for these past 4 years. And slowly over that time period, I've been working more and more towards getting it to be a very mature solution that is user-friendly and could be made public someday. And with the new year being ushered in, that day has arrived. And so MapleGrove Partners relaunched in 2015 to provide kind of what I call a new era of web hosting. And so the services that I'm providing are very similar to what you would get with other web hosts, but we do it at a price point and with a level of performance that is really going to be hard to find on the internet. From a performance, security, reliability, and backup and failover standpoint, we have all those things really well thought out and engineered, and we've made it so that it's relatively straightforward for the average guy to get up and off the ground for a really great price and get the performance of what you would be paying these big hosts to do. We have been working with customers from kind of the smaller end, a couple hundred hits a day. Maybe you have an average blog that you want to get going on WordPress. We have the perfect container environment to do that. Or maybe you've hit it off really well with your website and you're getting 20,000 hits a day and you can't handle all the traffic, and you're looking at maybe $100 a month to get a dedicated server that's going to be able to handle that traffic. Well, we've kind of managed all of that into two different plans. One comes in at 10 a month, one comes in at 30 a month for the dedicated hosting, and both of which provide really great performance and throughput and can help both the average guy and the experienced webmaster and site owner have some rock solid hosting. This is a project that I've worked on kind of throughout those 4-year periods, and there's a lot of cool things about this platform that, because of the size and the way we've scaled it up over the years, you're not going to find with the regular web host. I mean, unlimited bandwidth, high-speed fiber optic. From a security standpoint, I've put my heart and soul into the cybersecurity of it because that's what I do. And so what big web hosts would do, where you have a password to get in your FTP client. No. Everything is, we give you a secure private public authentication key, so there's no passwords, which really reduces the chance you're ever going to have a breach. So we take that all really seriously, and we bundle that in with making sure your data is always backed up, secure, reliable, privacy. And so now you, as the average guy or as the experienced web host, can host with us. And if you want to measure performance for what the platform can really do for you, just head out to theaverageguy.tv. That website is on this new platform and has been on the platform for the last 4 years. And it just gives you kind of a representative sample. People in my circles who know me know some of the sites that run BIOSMODs, which gets well over 5,000 hits a day. Those pages come up incredibly fast. And the webmaster of Elite Dangerous trading tool, which is a tool for one of these really new popular computer games. This is one of the guys who gets well over 20,000 hits a day. He's our first customer 2015 on the dedicated package, and seeing some really stellar performance on his site. So it's an opportunity for, if you're kind of in that position of, I really wanted to bite the bullet on getting a website and playing around, but I really just haven't had the time to, or maybe haven't felt comfortable with the prices for what I can get out there on the internet. We're kind of providing you that experience. So if you head out to MapleGrovePartners.com, you can look at the different plans, look at what the platform provides. We do both website and email hosting. So if you want me at the average gal or the average guy. Obviously, the average guy.tv is taken in the domain, but whatever your domain is, you can have custom email hosted out at that domain now, along with your website, and everything from the ordering process through the provisioning is relatively automated. So go out there if you have questions. The contact form and the details are, and we'll continue to talk about it in the Average Guy Network as people get interested.
And I will say, if you're looking for a domain and you've never purchased one before, Hover makes that super easy for us. theaverageguy.tv/hover, Hover. I've used them. I've enjoyed using them. It's just a very easy service to use. Sorry to make this sound like such a sales pitch. Christian, I want to hear from you. Why now? Why do we get 4 years later after we start podcasting, and why in the beginning of 2015? What's come together that has really allowed you? By the way, I think this is a cool idea. I mean, first of all, I get to host with somebody that I know, right? Which always scares me because I'm like, what if something goes down and I got to call Christian, right? So maybe you can address that a little bit too, because it's like, I know you, right?
Right.
You're the guy behind this, but why now, and what's support going to look like?
Sure. So we kind of made the decision over the last year that, I never wanted to make it a public architecture at first, because there's a difference between making it comfortable for me so that I can make it work for me in a high performance way, and then making it user friendly and work for the average guy. And I never was really comfortable with, putting something out there that, would eventually scale and be widespread, unless it was really ready to go. So those 4 years of it being a closed thing for my sites, some of my clients, and for things like the average guy was really the ironing out period. So that's kind of hopefully some reassurance into how much time and effort we've put into making this smooth. I mean, it's not like we're just releasing something fresh beta. It's all gonna, be confusing and break. No, this has been 4 years in the making, and especially with the work I've been doing in DC in cybersecurity and network engineering and architecting, I've put a lot of that experience in both research and production back into this environment. So some of those kind of upper level topics on how you make these things incredibly fast and secure is now reflected in the platform. As for how support's going to work, that's one of the great things about being kind of a new, fresh, small web host that's doing all these cool features. We have a support ticket system, email. We actually offer Skype now, so there's a Skype for MapleGrove partners on our contact page. If you get in a bind, you hit up the Skype. You probably deal with me, which hopefully is a pretty good feeling, to be honest, because I know what I'm doing with the platform and so forth. But as the platform scales up and people, if this gets to a large point, we do actually have plans to hire undergraduate students at the University of Maryland who would help with support requests and running the architecture and implementation, and obviously some of the smartest, best, and brightest of the school. So you're in good hands, I like to think. You're dealing with kind of the newest generation of how I think about web hosting and how kind of the younger minds think about it. So it's an interesting opportunity, I think, for you to experience kind of the newer technologies and the newer trends and kind of some of the benefits of my education, and put all that in one package at a price point that's going to probably beat out what you're going to get out on the internet, especially for our dedicated hosting. It comes in at a third of what you see out on the internet. So again, it's as much as you and I think are both trying not to make this a sales pitch, it is a pretty cool opportunity to, whether it's your first time website or whether you want to move something over, to have that kind of one-on-one personal feel and get some really great features that you're not going to find at other web hosts.
Yeah, super easy for me in the sense that I've had you help me with my stuff the whole entire time we've been doing this, and it's been fun. We've learned some things through the process. It's been
Sure.
Fun to go through. Oh, this didn't work. Oh, that didn't work. And yet over the last year, it's been fun to see you kind of it gets better and better and better for me. Now, being the average guy, sometimes you say, man, see how fast that is? And I'm like, yeah, it's fast. I don't know, right? But I know it's fast. I've watched rankings go up. I've seen things go on, which is really, really cool. And for me, it's just fun to be a part of it, kind of be in on the ground floor of this, and have a good time with it. And I know you're constantly thinking. This is the beauty of it. You're constantly thinking about ways to do this better. in ways to keep it super secure, because that's your degree, and you really can't afford a breach, right?
Yep.
Right. So there's the perfect, the perfect environment here, and I think so. For anyone who's thinking about it, if you've been holding off, if you've been kind of waiting, now might be the time to give it a try. It's $10 a month. I would say give it a try. Christian, anything else you want to throw in there as we wrap up this tip?
Yeah, no, just an emphasis on, the privacy of your data as well, from both a privacy and security standpoint. I mean, there's a lot of thought process that went into the design of this, so that is kind of a centerpiece. This platform is also great if you're an audio guy or a podcaster. Maybe you want to start a new first-time podcast. With the fiber optic connection we have and the unlimited bandwidth, it really gives you an opportunity to start your own community and not have to worry about, am I going to run into a bandwidth limit? Am I going to run into a space limit? Jim and I looked and measured out of the 4 years of podcasts, just the audio, right, that we put out for all of our podcasts, how much storage did that take? Took 20 gigabytes, right? So the container that you're getting at $10 a month is 50, which means you could easily go for 8 years of audio podcasting before even having to think about upgrading a storage plan. So that's pretty significant, right? And I think, with the bandwidth considerations and the speed of the platform, like I said, it's really a treat in my opinion. One of the big problems with shared hosting is overcrowding and overselling, where, someone else's website running really slow and getting hammered by users affects your site. And because our platform is really well managed, and I specifically make sure there's always more than ample resources to get the job done, it really is a deal from a performance standpoint that you're not going to see with other providers.
Yeah, and a good price point. I know you'll pay $20 to $40 to get in on a Libsyn when we think about podcasters. And this will get you in. Of course, Libsyn has all its embedded stats. We would encourage you to use the PowerPress plugin as a part of WordPress to get that done as well. So, well, very good, Christian. Well, let me just say thanks for 4 years of great service for me in doing that. I'll continue to stay on the platform here in 2015. If you're watching this in a time-shifted mode, we're recording this January 1st of 2015, so maybe it's been a while since we put this out, but still available. MapleGrove Partners, MapleGrove Partners.
Yep.
All one word.com, and there are some pricing out there. I think a great deal, and I think not for everybody, but it might be for you. So head out there. And Christian, if they have questions in advance, ways to contact you on the page there?
Yeah, so you can, if you just go right to the contact page on that website, that'll drop me a note that I will get back to you on. Christian at The Average Guy always works, averageguy.tv. So plenty of ways to get in touch with me for sure.
All right, this has been another Home Tech Tip, and if you want to catch more of these tips, we have them available over at theaverageguy.tv, and we'd love to have you come out and join them. Thanks for listening.